This plant is prepared by the process of grafting from the mother plant. It is not getting proper sunlight here. That's why today we will take it to our rooftop garden. For that, first the soil is being dug out around the base. Now the plant will be taken out of the pot. While changing the pot for larger plants like these, make sure the soil is dry enough. Otherwise, the soil may be break and the plant may die. Now it will be planted in another pot at our rooftop. For that, we are using this container made with cement. The container has multiple holes at the bottom so that extra water can be released. The soil I am using contains 60% ordinary soil and 40% organic compost. Some bone meal and eggshell dust will be added to the soil to supply phosphorus and calcium. It will be better if we can add some neem cake dust, mustard cake dust and hornmeal with this soil. Now we will plant it. We are planting this tree in the month of April here in India. Java apple tree can be planted anytime throughout the year. However, we should avoid the rainy season for plantation of any sapling in a pot or container. Because due to frequent rain, the soil of the pot always remain wet. The newly planted saplings cannot tolerate the excessive water. The roots start to rot and eventually the saplings may die. This is after 1 month of replantation of the plant in this new pot. It is now stable and has started to grow. Today we will increase the soil using the same soil mixture. This is the update in the month of September. It has been 5th month since plantation. In this time, I have trimmed the branches multiple times to keep in the perfect shape. I have cut the branches at the very bottom, which were growing sideways. I have also trimmed the branches at the top. Within a few days, new branches will be formed. This is the month of February of the next year. It has been 10 months already. The plant is grown nicely. Multiple new branches are formed. It is getting ready to bloom for the very first time. From now on, it will be requiring extra nutrients. For that, I have already added a homemade mixed organic manure in the month of December to the soil. I will talk about the preparation and use of the mixed fertilizer within a few minutes. First week of April. It has been exactly 1 year after taking this tree at our rooftop. It has formed multiple buds. End of April. Most of the buds started blooming. Hope they will bear fruits very soon. First week of May. Most of the flowers are converted to fruits. Day by day, the fruits will become larger. Now, let's talk about the sunlight requirement of Java apple plants. They need a lot of sunlight to grow well. We have to make sure that the plant gets full sunlight for the whole day. This will help them to grow well and produce flowers and fruits. Middle of May. Today, we are collecting some fruits for the first time. These are the fruits grown in the first year. After harvesting all the fruits around the month of July or August, we have to perform pruning on the plant. A few days ago, I have cut most of the branches except the main stems. New branches have started producing. This is the update of the month of February of the next year. The plant is grown larger and grew a lot of branches. It has been almost 2 years. The plant has started producing the buds for second time. This year, the number of buds is much higher than the previous year. But the plant has gotten some problems. They are being attacked by red mites, and also attack of these whiteflies are being seen. These are called spiraling whiteflies. To solve both of the problems, we used imidacloprid. We had to use this only for once. Now the buds have started blooming. Almost all of the flowers are converted to fruits within a few days. At the end of March, when the fruits have started growing, the plant started producing new flowers once again. The fruits from these flowers will mature late. Thus the fruits can be harvested for longer duration of time. This is the month of April. It has been exactly 2 years after plantation. As you can see, the plant has grown a lot of fruits. From now on, we can start harvesting the fruits. This year, the size of the fruits are larger. Taste is also good. We cannot tell the difference whether the fruits are grown on a plant which is kept in a small container at rooftop, or it is born from a plant grown in proper soil. This is the month of May. We have collected a lot of fruits in the last month. Still, a plenty of fruits are left. We are able to give some of the fruits to our neighbors and relatives. Now, let's talk about some common care of water apple plants. I have talked about the sunlight requirement previously. Now let's talk about the water requirement. As Java apple plants grow large, they need a lot of water. Especially during the hot summer days, sometimes we may need to water them twice in a day. The new leaves at the top easily blend down when there is a lack of water. If the soil remains dry for a very long time, the new leaves may start to dry out. We have to watch the topsoil and add water when the topsoil is about to be dry. Now let's talk about the insecticide requirement. As water apple is a tree-like perennial plant, its immunity against disease is much higher than the small annual plants. Thus, we need not to worry about them much. We use organic pesticide neem oil. That is also not very often. In these years, we got only one problem just for once, which is the attack of whitefly and mite. They can be easily taken care with the use of imidacloprid. However, we should not use chemical insecticides frequently and use them only when absolutely required. This is the month of July. The second year harvesting is over. Now, we have to prepare the plant for the next year. I have already told that we have to prune the plant around the month of July or August. Now, I am showing how to prune the plant in proper way. I am cutting all of the branches, just keeping a few inches and some leaves of them. I am also removing the weak and small branches near the base. There is a very little chance of growing up fruits in these weak branches. We always have to keep the base area of any plant clear, so that air can pass and the sunlight can reach properly. Now the pruning process is over. Within a few weeks, the plant has produced new branches and grown well. Now we have to prepare the plant for producing the fruits for the third time. This plant produces buds during the month of February. I have said earlier that we have to add an organic mixed fertilizer before this time. Till now, we are adding the manure directly to the soil of this pot. Now, we should not do that. It has been almost 3 years since this tree is planted in this pot. The pot is full of extra roots and a very less organic materials is left. Now we have to partially change the soil of the pot. As the plant has grown larger, we cannot just take it out of the planter and repot it. In that case, let's see how we can partially change the soil for this type of large plants. First, we have to dig out the soil away from the base of the plant near the edge of the pot. Some extra roots may be drawn. But this will not create any problem to the plant. We have dug the soil around the edge of the planter, but did not touch the soil near the base. This is important. In this way, the large plants will remain safe during the soil changing procedure. Now let's see how can we prepare the soil mixture to fill the pot. First, we will prepare an organic mix fertilizer. For that, I am using 80% vermicompost and bone meal, neem cake dust, horn meal and mustard cake dust 5% each. This mixture contains almost all of the macro fertilizers needed for the healthy growth of a plant. This is the organic fertilizer I was taking earlier. This homemade mixed organic fertilizer can be added to the soil time to time. But now we are changing the soil of the pot. That's why we are mixing this with the same amount of ordinary garden soil. Now the planter will be filled by the soil and manure mixture. The mixed organic fertilizer that I have talked just now can be used in 2 to 3 months of interval. We should use this in larger amount before the plant start to produce the buds, that is during the month of December. Again, this fertilizer can be used when the flowers are converted to fruits. But we should not fertilize this plant when there are buds and flowers on the branches. Beside the mixed organic fertilizer, we should use rotten mustard cake and banana peel solution time to time. Potassium is one of the ingredients that is very hard to find in most of the organic components that we generally use. Banana peel has a lot of potassium. To supply micronutrients, we often use this microfertilizer as foliar spray once in 2 to 3 months. Now, the question is, what is the perfect time to change the soil of the pot? We should do that a couple of months after the pruning, that is during the month of September or October. After filling the pot, now adding water properly. The plant is intact after the change of soil. This indicates our soil changing procedure was perfect. Till now I have talked about a lot of things. Now let's summarize all of the information that I have shared till now. Java apple tree can be planted in pots anytime throughout the year, but we should avoid the rainy season. We need to add organic mixed fertilizer and liquid fertilizer in the interval of 2 to 3 months. We need to add mixed fertilizer in the month of December before the plant starts to produce the buds. We need to prune the plant in the month of July or August after the harvest of the fruits. The pruning should be done only once in a year. Micronutrients should be used periodically. And finally, the soil should be changed partially once in every 2 to 3 years. I hope if we can follow these rules, water apple plant will grow well, remain healthy, and will produce fruits in every year. Now we have reached to the end of the video. That's all for today. Thanks for watching the video. Have a nice day.